So I thought I would I gotta take out this little tree that's going across the road that goes this way, which is the most level road that I can work with. I'm gonna clear it. It's gonna go up past my neighbor's property and it wraps on. It does a full loop. So I wanna get this out of the way, then I'll break my tractor out. The snow here, maybe 4 inches deep. We'll see how the scraper does on that. It's not quite as deep as I was waiting for. I thought I'd wait till it was about 6 to 8 inches deep. But right now, it is 26 degrees Fahrenheit, which equals 0 degrees Celsius, I believe it is. So anyhow, I'm gonna bring the clippers along because there'll be trees that I'll want to probably clip. And I got my saw here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down a little bit. I'm not too worried about getting it perfect right now, but I do need this one out of the way. And probably this other one here too. But I won't do that one today, just this one that's hanging over the road. That way if the neighbors come up, they won't have to deal with this thing. And if they come up, the only snow they have to do is to deal with the snow trying to get up to this area, which, like I said, isn't too bad in a four-wheel drive. Just maybe down below, I don't know what that's going to be like. I haven't had the need to go anyplace. Another thing I'm kind of doing here as I go, I already took 2 branches off. They were like down to here, and driving through here is really complicated, and you got to brush against these trees. So the best thing to do is take out the low limbs and leave as much as you can. So like this one's going to come out, and I think I can get around the other low limb. I mean, a guy could cut it off, but I don't really want to take any more off than I have to, just to get through here decently. It's just a lot easier to use this Silky 500 rather than bringing a chainsaw along, because then you got to shut it off, start it up, shut it off, start it up, and it's just kind of a pain. And it's big and bulky. But anyways, you can see I should be able to get through here pretty decently, taking off just 3 branches off that one. I do have some branches I drove through down here. I didn't stop to take them off, but on the way back I will. So doing a video pretty soon. I've got a sharpener for the Norwood sawmill blades. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sharpening those. I'm just waiting for the sharpening stone. When I put the thing together, I left the stone down and I tested power out on it, and I broke the stone in half before I even got a chance to use it. So I ordered 2 of them in case I break another one. Those should be here by next Friday, but because of the snow, maybe longer. Anyhow, not on this video, but probably the next video, I'll show you how I sharpen my Norwood blades, but I've got like 20 of them to sharpen. So, but I figured I'd make that a winter project, and that's something I want to do. This video, again, I'm limited to what I can do. I can't really do any building right now. That's just not possible. So, I'm showing you how I survived this winter here, and I'm going to keep providing that sort of content right now, is to kind of show you what I do daily. Some stuff will be repetitive, but it will be actually, everything I show you is what happened that week. I'm going to try to go into some of my old videos and like consolidate some of my stuff and probably produce some of those too, because that's, you know, like the assembly of the door and completing the door on my cabin. I might put that on there. One of these days I'd like to get a wildlife cam or two. I do have moose and bear and cougar and fox and coyote and rabbits and all kinds of wildlife here I'd like to capture and add some of that. There we go. We're about, well, 25 degrees, approximately 24 degrees. So we're negative, looks like -2 Celsius approximately. So to the left under that tarp there, that's something I haven't ever shown anybody. That's my cook stove I bought. It's got a bread warmer on it. It's a wood burning cook stove. That's for my next cabin build. So the reason I'm showing you this, I just want to explain that, yeah, I really like this 4 Patriots food. There's only maybe a couple things so far that I've had that I didn't like. I haven't had everything, mind you. I have had their cowboy rice and beans. I'm not a big fan of that one. So this one's the Nana's, or Nana's, however you want to pronounce it, best lasagna style marinara. There's usually a little drying packet in there, so I try not to pour those in. And that's what keeps this stuff so it can last 25 years. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cook up this meal, and I'm cooking it on the wood stove, obviously. And when it's done, we'll take a look at it. It's about 20 minutes cook time. This is 4 servings in here. So for me, I use more calories up because of all the stuff I do around here. So 4 servings in their book is 2 servings for me. So basically a 3-month supply will last me a month and a half. Maybe longer, because I'm not cooking multiple things. They may consider you cooking this and something else, like some of their rice packets and stuff. Alright, so this is how this marinara turns out, which is pretty nice. And yeah, I could have put something else with it, I had some bread, I'd be breaking bread with it. So basically what I do is I just use half of it for me. The rest of this I'll let it cool off. And that's how she turns out right there. And that's gonna be my lunch. I do have my own rice, so they're rice packets, which are sealed in an airtight package, and they have that little dryer bag in there. I won't open those rice packets up right now. I've got probably 10 pounds to 15 pounds of rice left that I had bought a year or so ago. That's still good. I keep it in a food grade bucket. I've also got a 5-gallon bucket, mostly full of flour. It's food grade bucket, so I can make my own bread and stuff. I'm going to try later and use my cast iron pot, put it on the fireplace, and I'm going to see if I can make a loaf of bread later. So when I do that, I'll do that this week. I'll video some of that. We'll see how it turns out. I could go up to the travel trailer and cook in the oven, but I thought I would just see if I could do that in one of my cast iron pots and get away with it. I've done it with biscuits. I've made some biscuits. Of course, they're a lot smaller, and I hadn't burnt the bottom. I have a trivet somewhere. If I could find my trivet, I think that'd be a good thing to put on here, and then put the cast iron on there, so that hopefully that would give it the oven effect, is kind of the idea. If that works, I'll try it without, and then I'll try it with a trivet. I'll try it 2 different ways. Up in the high elevation I'm at, I'm sure it'll take longer to cook than it normally would. One of the things I would have done differently wood stove wise, instead of buying this used one, I would have bought a new wood stove with a little oven in it. I've seen them on, they're not the greatest, I know that. But for a little cabin like this, it would have been fine for short term while I'm building my main cabin. But they make one that's about $1,200. Would have been about twice as much as I paid for this thing. But having an oven would be nice. I do. All right, so I thought I'd make some bread. It's a no-knead recipe, and I'll kind of tell you what I'm doing. This is kind of an experiment because I haven't done it in a cast iron pot before on a wood stove. So usually I cook my breads in an oven. So I'll try this and see. So to start with, I need 3 cups of flour. So I'll go ahead and get my flour out here. Okay. We'll use this guy right here. So I'll take 6 of these. That's just a 1/2 cup. In the trailer was whole wheat, but I didn't have the whole wheat. I didn't buy 20 pounds of it like I did this flour. I bought 20 pounds of flour, so I got a lot of flour left here. Anyway, the mice got into it. They got into my trailer and chewed through the bag, so I threw it all out. All right, so it calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. And I was lucky to have this. I didn't know I had this packet still, so okay. One of the things I like to do usually is put the yeast in warm water initially, you know, and we'll try it this way because it doesn't say to do that, but if it doesn't turn out, then the next batch I'll do it the way I normally do it, is I activate the yeast in warm water before actually putting it in the mix. So we'll save that and do a teaspoon of salt. And I'll usually activate it with sugar water is what I'll usually do. All right, teaspoon of sugar. Go ahead and get that all mixed together here. And then a cup and a half to 1 3/4 cups of hot water. I've been heating up some water on the wood stove. And then I got to cover it and let it set for, I'm just mixing it to a sticky consistency, you know, so it's got to get mixed up really good. And then I'll let it set for 3 hours, and then I'll come back to you after that. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this. We'll do let's see here, 1 1/2 cups of water to start with, and see how that looks. Yeah, it's not too hot. Hot enough. And that warm water help activate the yeast, I imagine, is how that works. Let's get all this, definitely sticky. Get all this down in there. Should have put my see if I can't get this start coming out of here. I'm going to get it rolled into a ball for some reason, and then I'll let it set, maybe raise a little longer while I'm cooking my dinner. A few folds here. I think I hear my dog. So no need recipe, but I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. Might do. See if I can leave it in the shape of a small loaf of bread. I think that'll fit. Alright, so I moved a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it like that. I think that'll fit in the pan. I'm going to go ahead and cover it and let it do its rise a little more, since I've manipulated it a little bit. And we'll come back to it. I'm going to go back to fixing my dinner. I'm making a beef stroganoff. And so I'm using that packaged stuff, And then I've got this stuff right here. Hopefully you can see this. It's already ready to serve. It's cooked. No water needed to be added to it. It's got some of the juices and stuff. So I put that in there. And this is got a long-term lifespan. I don't remember how long. It says refrigerate after opening. It doesn't really say anything. It gives you a recipe on it. It just says for long-term food storage. I found this stuff, this beef, on Amazon as well. Was not cheap, but I thought this time of year there'll be times I want some meat on my food, so I thought I'd try it and make a beef stroganoff out of the stuff that I have. So I'm working on that right now. That's cooking on the wood stove. I've let it set for a little bit, and I got it ready to go. I melted some butter to put on it, and I believe that'll still fit in this cast iron container over here. So we'll go ahead and see if we can't. Yeah, I think I should be able to pick it up okay and pop it over there. Get the bread done and try the bread out with it. So we'll go ahead and pop this in like that. Periodically, I'll go ahead and cover it up. In a little bit, I'll put some butter on it. And we'll come back to you and I'll show you what's going on. We'll see how it turns out. Get it put on a grate. So it didn't raise like it should have. And that's why, so it's going to be a fairly dense product, I think. Looks good. It really does. So it is a little bit dense, but it still tastes good. That's it for now, I guess. Well, good morning. Okay, the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm taking the bread that I made yesterday. I'm going to make some little French toast sticks. So I'm making breakfast. I've always done them as full pieces of bread, but because this one didn't raise really good, I'm going to make really good French toast sticks because they hold together really well. They won't fall apart like regular bread would if you cut it up and soak it in egg batter. They'll fall apart usually. They don't turn out so good. I think these will. All right, so yeah, these things look like they turned out pretty darn nice here. So I think that'll work out just fantastic. Try that again. So yeah, I think that'll work really well for making French toast sticks. So I'll go ahead and use this loaf that I made yesterday for that. I'll make another loaf today and see if I can get it to rise. Okay, Sage, do you want to go with me? You want to go get some stuff out of the trailer? Hold on, Sage. I want to walk in my... I'm just wearing my little boots that I got earlier this year, and the snow's pretty deep here, so I made a trail up to the trailer. Sage is in right now. That way, it's only a couple inches deep to walk in. So I thought I'd take you out, kind of show you the beautiful snow scenery. Very pretty around here. Down past my utility trailer there. But yeah, don't know that I'll be traveling anywhere in the truck anytime soon, and the snowmobile's not working, so that's what I get for buying a used snowmobile, huh? So I have a feeling it's going to be a simple fix. Too cold on your feet? Do you want to go back inside? Come on, sweetie. Too cold on her feet. It is 18 degrees out here. Come on, baby. Let's get back in. You stay warm. Come on, let's keep going. Your feet are freezing, aren't they? Come on. Hurry up. Let's try and let's make it. Come on, Sage. Keep going. This way, bud. Come on, sweetie. Come. I know. Come on, you're almost there. Too cold for you out here. Yeah. Yeah, get in there and get warm. Oh, poor girl. You get warm. I'll be right back. So yeah, she didn't get very far before it started making her limp. So yeah, I got to get her some booties. She loves being outside, but she hasn't been in this cold of weather yet. Yeah, we got about 10 inches of snow in this area. I'm walking in a trench, and it's up about midway on my calf. And gotta head on back. It's getting breezy here, so that cold weather's coming. One of the things I'd like to do later around here, once I get rid of that trailer, at some point I want to build back in there another small dovetail cabin, I think, and make that a one-room cabin with a loft as well, like the little one down here. Then of course I want to build a log cabin down below, and so then I'll have my cabin up above. With those three little cabins, I actually could set up a place for people to learn about off-grid life. They can come stay for a weekend or maybe a week and get an idea what it's about. Maybe learn how to mill, maybe learn how to cut down a tree, any of that stuff. Sorry. So yeah, I think it'd be kind of neat to do something like that in the future, if I can make it that far. I'm not young anymore, that's for sure. So it gets bitter cold here too. I don't think I'd be able to do that with anybody in the winter, because I don't know that they could make it up here. Like right now, there's no way you could make it on the roads unless they're plowed. And there's 3 of us plowing into this area. So I haven't drove it yet, so I don't know how drivable it is. I know that where I plowed, you could get a truck, 4-wheel drive through there, but you would not get anything else through there. Like, you know, I have some neighbors that were going to bring up a U-Haul, and there's just no way they'd get up with a U-Haul. I don't know what they're hauling up here, but this is probably not the time of year to start moving stuff up to your property. I wait till after the snows have subsided and have melted off. So back at the cabin here, I'll turn this around and show you the cabin. There's my little frosty cabin. And some ice melt. I got icicles hanging and stuff. And I do have just a touch more wood I could do on the side there, but because of the snow and the ice down below, that's the only reason I haven't done any more. It's too high for me to reach when I'm standing on the ground. And putting a ladder out, too dangerous. We'll get back to this later. I'm pretty sure I can find more wood that matches this stuff so I can do the whole cabin. I'm going to try my darndest to do the whole cabin in that. And then I'm going to do shingles up on these gable ends. So I'll make the shingles. I don't know if I'm going to make them by hand or use my Norwood shingle making tool. I think I can still work with the door. It's fine. It's a good looking door. I just need to take, and these guys right here, hopefully you can see them. Sage, come back here. These edges right here, I need to make them, they're probably 3/8. I'm going to make them a little wider. And then on the inside, I'm going to put in a seal, so the door will close against the seal. Alright, well, thank you for watching my video. I know it's nothing building wise, but right now I just can't do that. The temperature's getting very cold here. I'm going to try and bring this up so you can see it. So, trying to keep 11 degrees Fahrenheit here now. It's about 4:30 in the evening on Thursday night. It's going to only get colder. They're predicting hitting 0 in the town of Omak, which is a good 2-hour drive from here. And Republic, I think they were saying right around the same, or maybe -1. I think they were saying for Republic. Now I'm higher than both those towns, and I have a feeling that tomorrow morning we'll take a look at that though. I have a feeling I'll be down below, probably -5 or even more. It's supposed to get really cold. So it's already very cold in here. I've got a blanket up on covering my door area. I have decided that I can't leave Sage down below tonight. It's already down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit, and the temperature's still dropping. It's not even late evening yet. So I'm going to, I've already screwed one end in. I'm going to screw this blanket in, and I'm going to try and create a barrier that will at least make me feel better about her being up here. I don't want her walking off the end. So I think by doing this, it'll help create a stopgap in case she decides to get up and do something, which I don't think she will, but I just can't have her down there. In case I forget to light the fire, in case I oversleep and the fire goes out, I should say. So I got a beam right there. Then I'm going to go along the bottom edge and screw that. I feel pretty confident she's not going to go anywhere else. I'll have to figure something out here to keep this over here because the blanket doesn't go all the way down. I'd like to put maybe 2 more screws in, I guess. But yeah, I just very concerned. I don't want her out in that cold overnight. I'm just concerned. And Cooper, he's small enough. I've been bringing him up here. He crawls underneath the sleeping bag and doesn't go anywhere. And she's pretty good about staying in one spot too, really. Nice thing is this still allows the heat to roll up here. I don't really have anything I can put over the steps here anyway, but I'll just have to work with her. I probably won't sleep very good tonight worrying about her, but maybe she'll get used to it. We'll see. Get her up here, I'll have to pick her up and carry her up here, but you should be able to see it. So I'm gonna go down and anchor it to the beam that's just along the edge here, and I'll probably anchor it in 3 spots. That way if she bumps up against this, she'll realize that that's as far as she needs to go, and she won't be able to fall past it easily. I mean, yeah, she's not going to go anywhere. So that's my doorway there that you're kind of looking at. I got a blanket kind of pinned up here to cover 3/4 of the doorway. Anything down on the floor is really cold. I'm worried about Sage. I definitely can't put her up in the loft. I'm worried that she might end up coming off of it. I don't have any way to keep her up there unless I put I don't even think I have a collar for her. It's in the truck. Probably can't even get into my truck. I do take a sleeping bag and bring it down for Sage and put a sleeping bag over her. and she's pretty good about staying under the cover. But I think what I'm going to do this tonight is move her closer, her bed closer to the wood stove, with hopes that she'll stay around that and not go back over here to the corner by the bathroom where it's colder. The bathroom gets hardly any heat in it. I'm going to try to figure out a way to heat the bathroom by putting a fan in through the upper loft area, because that way it can evacuate the heat from the loft down into the bathroom, which would be nice. So I'm going to try that next year. This year, I'm learning about it, learning what I need to do in here to keep it comfortable, because this is probably going to be a yearly thing here, I think. Again, I would like to thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not following me and you're interested in off-grid life, I'm going to be showing everything that entails just making it through the winter, building in the spring and summer, and just off-grid life in general. Working in an area down by the creek where I'm going to get my spring all dialed in, and I'm going to have water supplied from the spring to a frost-free valve up above, and that runs off 800 watts of solar. And we'll get more into all of that later this next summer. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and please stay warm and safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.